So staying focused, staying on track with your fitness journey can be very challenging to do, especially if you're a complete beginner. There are a lot of things you can do, and a lot of the time when people are struggling to stay consistent, it comes down to certain management strategies that you can do and utilize to, essentially just make things easier. Just remember, at the end of the day, exercise is a challenging thing because not everyone likes exercise. A lot of people, find it unpleasant. They're not a fan of the discomfort that comes with it, the intensity, the sweat, the heat, everything like that. And that's okay. It's not, exercise shouldn't be about glorifying that. Some people love it, that's okay, and that's okay too. But just remember, when it comes to going on your fitness journey, it should come from an intrinsic point of view, or you doing it to improve yourself. And so generally when I work with my clients, a lot of work is done and a lot of focus is put on helping the client and the individual enjoy the process rather than seeing it as a chore. Anyway, enough of me rambling on. I'm going to get into some tips that you can use to help stay consistent with your exercise plan. Okay, tip number 1, make some goals. The first thing that you want to do when you start on your fitness journey is to identify what it is exactly that you want to do. My advice, if it's something like losing weight, trying to get more muscular, more toned, these are goals that aren't very stable, or at least aren't safe to do, just because they tend to be more associated with your subjective opinion and perspective on yourself. They can be very much, your progression can be limited and affected by how you see yourself in the mirror. So my first thing for every client is try and stay away from weight loss goals, try and stay away from, fat loss as well. Anything that's got to do with your appearance is very challenging, just because of the negative lens that most people tend to have when they look at themselves in the mirror. You can be working really consistent with your fitness routine, doing everything you can with your diet, getting lots of sleep, not drinking, like you're really looking after yourself. But when you look in the mirror, you don't feel that sense of progression or that, I've done something with myself. So stay away from any goals like weight loss, fat loss, muscle gain. So just purely from a looking in the mirror perspective, and from getting more toned. So the best thing you can do is make some goals that are more so attached to the activities, exercises, and achievements, essentially. So this can be, if you're working with barbells, dumbbells in the gym, you can look at achieving a certain weight that you have on the bar or a certain weight of dumbbell. An example could be being able to bench press your body weight or being able to squat your body weight. This is a great kind of starting goal for a lot of people because it is something that is achievable in a relatively short amount of time. Other goals that might be cardio related, so things like walking, swimming, running, etc. You can attach goals or create goals that are attached to distance or time. So being able to accomplish a particular distance within a given time frame, or being able to achieve, just flat out being able to achieve at a distance regardless of the time frame. We can look at things like marathons, half marathons, 5, 10K runs, or even if we're looking at very beginner level, it could be something as simple as being able to go for a walk with your dogs for 20 minutes without having a break. They don't need to be something that's quite complicated, can be very simple. That's my first tip, setting goals. Make sure you have some sense of direction. The reason this is so important is that if you don't have a good plan in mind or something to work towards, it is very easy to lose steam and to lose motivation with your why and, well, essentially the what as well. Because when you get into a fitness journey or a weight loss journey, whatever it is, you're starting something new, you want to know why are you doing it? What are you doing? As in, what are you working towards? And the when. So you can also attach a time frame that you want to do this in. My recommendation, if you're going to do a time frame, start with 12 weeks. It gives you enough time. Shorter time frames can be difficult to work with because there tends to be, you can get sick, injured, life can just get busy. If you're a parent, you know what it's like. If you're a carer, you look after your mum or dad, or you look after your brother or sister, whatever it is, whatever your life is like, you know that there are unexpected hurdles or barriers or roadblocks that can happen. So 12 weeks is a good amount of time for you to make some good progression. Okay, so tip number 2 is making sure that you stay organized with your routine. So if you are choosing a particular time of the day to do your exercise routine, whether it's working out at home, working out at the gym, working out at a gym, such as the one in the background here, after work, whatever you have available to you, set yourself up so that there's minimal mucking around or fussing about before you get into it. So let me kind of explain. If you're waking up in the morning, say, for whatever reason, you're too busy to do it in the afternoon or evening, or you're too tired, and so you're choosing to do it first thing in the morning. My recommendation, get your clothes ready so that when you wake up, they're just ready to go. Get your shoes, clothes, everything right there. So you don't have to search around your closet when you're half asleep and you just kind of can't be stuffed because I've got to get out of bed, or my clothes are in the wash, everything like that. Get yourself nice and organized so that you can just go straight to it. Second one would be, if you are somebody who loves to have music on during your workout, make sure you're organized, get that playlist ready. Don't go about, I'm gonna make the playlist in the morning, I'll just chuck a few songs on a queue and just do that. That's a great way to kind of lose steam or motivation when you're starting your session, because you're like, shit, I don't have the right music on to give me the right motivation. It doesn't sound like a massive thing, but essentially it's all those little things that can build up to making your workout take longer, to even preventing you from doing it in the first place. If you're an afternoon or evening person, make sure you've got some kind of meal ready to go if you eat before your workout or afterwards, just to minimize any shortcut taking, such as snacking, fast food on the way home from the gym or work. Everyone knows what it's like when you get home, you're exhausted and you want to sit down and just bleh. This is a great way to make sure that you stay accountable. Another one that you can also do is, when you go into your routine, this kind of works off the first tip as well. Have a plan for what you're actually doing in that workout. And I don't mean just, I'm doing chest day or leg day or cardio or something. Know what exactly you're doing. Do know what exercises you're doing, what weight you're doing them at, sets, reps, rest breaks, things like that. Especially if you're going into the gym at a very specific time and particular machines are busy, it's going to be really beneficial for you to at least have a plan going into it. And then in the case of going to a commercial gym, public gym, have a backup plan as well, because sometimes things just don't go as expected. Machines are busy, machines are broken, whatever it is. Everyone who's been to gym at peak hour knows what it's like. You just kind of know anything goes. So have some idea of what you're going to do when you go into your workout. Stick to it. If it doesn't work out, have a backup plan. My last point would be to put your phone away during your workouts. This just tends to, like, everything is so, it's so easy to get distracted these days. If you know you're someone who gets distracted easily, wake up, get yourself ready, get everything sorted, do your workout. Just get in and do it. Get in and get out. If you are dawdling on your phone, mucking around, playing games, social media, whatever it is, that's prolonging how long it's actually going to take you to do your workout. And then before you know it, you're doing your workout before work, you spent 20 minutes on your phone doing whatever, that's 20 minutes less time you have to do your workout, get ready for work, have breakfast, whatever it is, and then you're gonna come away being like, ah, shit, like I've wasted time. So get yourself in the mindset where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do my workout, put the playlist on, put your phone down, and leave it there. Don't touch it. Tip number 3, log your workouts. You can use pen and paper if you want to. This is a great way. You can just get a normal exercise book, write down the exercises that you're doing, sets, reps, the load, so the weight that you're using, even rest breaks as well. This is a great way of just tracking your progression, as well as, like, if, you know, depending on the split that you do throughout the week, if it's upper, lower, you got a bro split, or you've even got full body workouts, it's good to know, I mean, it's good to stay organized. At the end of the day, you know, life has so many different, you know, unexpected things that can happen. You can miss a workout, you can, you know, for whatever reason it is, you know, you're missing something or you're losing track of what you're doing. This is a great way to stay organized and stay on top of what you're doing. Some fitness apps are really good. You know, MyFitnessPal is a great one. I use Heavy, so H-E-V-Y. That's really good because it tracks everything really well. It's free. I don't know if there's a paid aspect to it, but it's pretty cool. I like it. You know, it's not an endorsement. Like, I'm just saying, you do what works for you, because at the end of the day, anything that makes it easier for you to stay consistent is a really, really good thing. There's a lot of stuff out there, but, you know, I think if you can do anything, use the tools that are available to you. This is going to ensure that you are successful in what you're trying to achieve. Tip number 4, stay off social media as best as you can. Listen, I get the whole idea of using social media to, you know, doom scroll, stay connected with your friends or family in whatever way that you communicate with them. But social media also comes with so many negatives and toxicity as well, both for men and women, and of course, you know, people who are much younger, children, teenagers, young adults, people who are entering their 20s and stuff. Regardless of your age, your mind is so easily manipulated and influenced by what we see online. You'll see lots of influencers, fitness experts with quotation marks, gurus, health gurus, even a lot of like big YouTubers as well, where they'll be throwing out all this information that can be really misleading. So a good example might be, you know, all that stuff that you see where people are like, get toned, lose belly fat just by doing this one exercise. Or, you know, I got this, I've got this thickness in biceps from doing this one exercise. Or the best one that I see all the time is stop doing this exercise, do these instead. Another one actually, sorry, I'm not gonna go on and forever because I'll make another video about this, but if you're in your 20s, you should be doing this. If you're in your 30s, if you're in your 40s, you should be doing this. I even saw a video the other day where it was like anyone over the age of 60 should not be doing cardio. Instead, they should be just doing calf raises, which is a load of BS, because fitness and exercise and just physical activity and looking after yourself isn't It is never so cut and dry as in just doing this one thing. Doesn't matter if you're choosing CrossFit, ultra marathon, Ironman, you just love just going for a weekend run, fitness classes, whatever it is, strength training, powerlifting, calisthenics, anything, whatever form of training you're choosing to do is not the best form of training that exists. Kettlebells have their place. Your mace balls, the ones that you put over your head, they have their place. Functional training has its place. Every form of training has its pros and cons. But you know what? At the end of the day, and I've gone on a bit of a tangent with this, but at the end of the day, the thing that's going to suit you the best and the thing that's going to benefit you the most is the form of training that's most appropriate for you, given the financial situation you're in, the responsibilities you have, the amount of time in the day you have available to you, even your medical conditions, the amount of fatigue, the diet you're currently running, everything. This is the thing. I work in allied health. I'm an exercise physiologist. I work with a lot of people to improve their life. In a grand scheme of things, even in the smaller aspects, I mainly use exercise to do that. But a lot of the time I actually use a lot of motivational interviewing, or that's the fancy name for it, but it's basically just getting people to fix the perspective they have on their life to overcome barriers that are preventing them from achieving, the fitness goals that they want to achieve. So social media plays a really big role in actually doing that. There's so much information, misinformation out there, so many people out there who spread misinformation. And even if you're just looking at something as simple as somebody who's been working out for years and years and years, over a decade, and they're completely shredded, they're in probably the most peak physical shape they will ever be in their life. And you'll look at them and you'll be like, I'd love to have a body like that. I'd love to have muscles, biceps, be so nicely cut as that person is. And that person can come out and say, buy my program, I can get you like this in under 6 months, I promise. Can you see a problem with that? Can you see how that can shape somebody's mentality and even understanding of how fitness works? You're essentially setting someone up for failure. And this is the problem. Like, when I'm looking at fitness and helping people, I'm looking at keeping you consistent. I want to keep you in the long game. I'm not interested. If you come to me and you're like, I just want to lose weight, 10 kilos in 6 weeks because I've got something to prepare for, that's fine. I'm okay to help you. But let's look at changing your life. Let's look at giving you something, look at the big picture, because you're a whole person. You have a support network, you have a job, you have a whole life attached to you. You don't just exist in this vacuum where you are just you in that present time. There's all these things in your life that are affecting you. People on social media don't know that. They do know that, but the information they put out, and this is not everyone, this is just the bad ones. The information they put out makes it seem like what they're saying is applicable to you. But that's when you need to take it with a grain of salt. So my recommendation, stay off social media altogether, or at least avoid the fitness and health gurus and the health coaches side of things, because that's usually the most, highest chance to be misled. Okay, tip number 5. I almost forgot this one. I had to go looking through the document to, remember which one it was. So this one, I don't see it a lot, but I personally believe that this is a great way to help you stay consistent, and it's to journal. You can journal about whatever you want, but what you should be doing is using journaling as a way to reflect on the week that has been. The week that you just completed. Use journaling as a way to reflect on your workouts, your exercises, how you managed your lifestyle throughout that week. This is just a way that you can stay accountable for what you're doing, but it's also an opportunity for you to look back on what you've done so far and really kind of help you strengthen the connection to the why. The why, as you know, why are you doing this? What I mentioned before, like there should be an intrinsic attachment to what you're doing. If you're choosing to go on this fitness journey, to get fit, to lose weight, whatever it is, you should be doing it for you. You shouldn't be doing it for someone else, because you know the only person at the end of the day who's going to care most about you is, well, I mean, okay, that might be a bit far-fetched, but you know, at the end of the day, the only person that's going to pull you out of bed in the morning is you. The only person that should be number one in terms of keeping you accountable is you. You shouldn't be offloading these expectations and these jobs onto other people, because it is your life and it is your body. So if you can try and use whatever methods and tools that you can to stay consistent, stay focused, stay on track, that is what you should do. Journaling is a really good way of doing that, okay? You look back at your workouts and you're like, you know what? I did a bench press, dumbbell bench press. I pushed a little bit more weight. How did that make me feel? That made me feel a bit stronger. That gave me a bit of a confidence boost. I'm not as bad at this as I thought I was. Or this is actually a lot easier than I thought it was. Or even, you know, it's okay to even say, you know what? That workout sucked. Fucking hated that. That was really hard and I found that unpleasant, because that gives you just an opportunity, just a mental opportunity to reflect on it and be like, okay, I'm processing what just happened throughout this week and what I achieved or what I didn't achieve. How can I use this to, you know, plan forward? What am I going to do next week? How am I going to change this to, you know, make things a bit better? So that's all for today's video. That's all I wanted to say. Staying consistent is a really important thing for your fitness journey, because these tips are going to be what's, you know, like they're not the most important tips, but they're really good, because if you can really be the one in the driver's seat with the steering wheel, be the one who is calling the shots, figuring it out along the way, and, you know, being fully malleable that there's going to be mistakes, learning opportunities, you're not going to achieve certain things, but if you can be the best person you can going through this whole journey, you will be in the best position for progression to be made. That is what I will end with. So thank you very much. If you liked this stuff, this is the first video I've ever said this in. Subscribe if you want to see more of it. I'm happy to help. If you want to, you know, send us a message or a comment, that'd be great too. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you hated it. It's the only way I'm going to get better at this. It's a little bit low key right now, but either way, thank you very much. I'll see you next time.